place. So let's make our fellow Texans, our friends from Texas, let's give them a big Andover, Massachusetts welcome. As you can see, Senator, you and Heidi are among friends in Massachusetts. Up here in Massachusetts, Texas is famous for a lot of things. Some of those things we don't necessarily like. The Dallas Cowboys. But we do like the oil and gas drilling that fuels America's economy. And that good old country and western music always sounds pretty darn good. And that deep sense of patriotism that beats in the heart of Texas. There is one thing, however, that has been Texas is most famous for, not just in Massachusetts, but all across our great nation, and that is the Alamo. It's such a part of our nation's legacy that every American feels pride and patriotism hearing the words, "Remember the Alamo." That's one of the stories of American history that binds us across generations and across the continent into one nation. A hardy band of a couple hundred volunteers held off the mighty Mexican army for 2 weeks until the Alamo mission fell. They gave their all for something greater than themselves. Unlike those fighters at the Alamo and our own Minutemen at Lexington Green and the Concord Bridge, most of us will never be asked to give the ultimate sacrifice for our country, which is why we owe so much to those who fought and died. And for those brave men and women who continue to fight for our liberties every single day. Senator, they fight for the red, white, and blue, and for all of the ideals that our flag represents. There is a very moving scene at the Alamo where the commander of the forces, William Travis, takes his sword and draws a line in the sand. And he tells the volunteers that they may stay on the far side, and peacefully leave the fort and save their own lives. Or they may cross the line and fight for something greater. One by one, they all cross the line and they promise to fight. Now, we are here today not faced with quite the same challenge, but we know this. In Washington, there is a line that separates those who want to go along to get along with those who want to stand and fight.
Hoorah!
There's a line between those who want to keep spending trillions and trillions of dollars on debt and those who want to stand and what?
Fight!
And there is a line between those who want to surrender our traditional values of life, family, liberty, and there are those who are willing to fight! We have with us today a man who has proven unequivocally that he will stand and fight. Like the men at Alamo, he will not surrender. He will not back down. Now he wants to fight for us as president. And he is going to tell us why it is worth the fight. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to introduce to you the great senator and Republican candidate for President of the United States, Senator Ted Cruz.
Well, Jim and Bernadette, let me say thank you and wow!
Yeah.
Let me start by saying Tom Brady was framed.
Go Pats! Go Pats!
Now, I'm not willing to pander on much, but on that, Tom Brady was framed.
Absolutely.
And I will say this, I have it on good authority that Hillary Clinton did it. Why do you think she deleted her email? Let me say, Heidi and I are thrilled to be with y'all. She and I, both of us, have lived here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We both went to graduate school here in the Commonwealth, and we are thrilled to be with so many patriots here in Massachusetts. You know, Jim, listening to your story about the Alamo, it reminded me of a former senator from Texas, a hero of mine, Senator Phil Gramm.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Who was one of the original Reagan Democrats.
Yep.
He was an old blue dog Democrat. And when Reagan was president, Phil Gramm helped corral Democratic votes for Reagan's tax cut. And Phil has described to me how he would sit with Democratic congressmen and he'd say, look, this is the right thing to do. And he'd tell that same story, Jim. He'd say, this is when William Barrett Travis drew a line in the sand. Every man there had to decide, do you step across the line or do you stay cowardly where you were to begin? And Phil said a number